Good evening, John Patrick Morgan. Just gonna share with you something I've been thinking about last couple days. So I did a coronavirus coaching webinar for coaches last week. Was it this week? I don't know what week it is. It's pandemic, man. We don't even have weeks anymore. Just have days since we've been in captivity. What is it? Not captivity. Quarantine. Yeah. And so a lot of people reached out to me after, and they said, wow, thanks so much. That was really helpful. I love your work, and some very sweet things and very generous things. And then a number of people, it was a theme, said, I really look forward to working with you someday. I want to work with you someday as my coach. Someday. It's like, that's a lot of people using that word, someday. And I thought, why does that sound so familiar? Oh yeah, I used to say that. I said that for 2 years about my mentor. Someday, when I have the money, I'm going to hire you. Someday. And after 2 years of saying someday to myself, to my wife, to him, I realized, someday hasn't come yet. What's going on here? When is someday going to come? And I saw how I was creating my world through speaking someday. That it seems innocent, it seems innocuous, because it feels like it's an honest description about the experience of not knowing when that day is. I'm not lying. I don't know when that day is, and so I speak the truth. Some unknown day, I would like to hire you. I will, on a day that I don't know when it's going to happen. And hey, I don't know the future. I'm being honest, and I was being honest. But my honesty was my prison. What does that mean? Does that mean you're supposed to lie? No. It's that if you speak by describing, which is, you can do that honestly, you can describe what actually is, you actually don't know, you're honestly describing it. But if you speak by describing what actually is, and you do it honestly, what happens is that you're actually moving forward and generating more of that. So speaking that I don't know when it's going to happen creates I don't know when it's going to happen. And I just move that forward in my life. And so I discovered that I need to speak a day, because if I don't speak a day and I keep speaking someday, then someday is what I always create, which is a day that's always unknown, that doesn't happen. It's very unlikely that things happen when you put them in the someday space. I think you can probably see that. But what I don't know if you could see, which I couldn't see, is that it's not because you don't have any power, it's because you're not accessing and grabbing your power by hooking into someday, into the unknown. And actually, I'm being honest that I don't know. And by being honest that you don't know, you're entrenching your not knowing as the solution, which disempowers you. So I said to my now mentor, August 23rd, 2016, I said, hey, I will have the money to hire you by Christmas, which was a big stretch for me. I had to make more money in the next 4 months than I'd ever made in a year to make that happen. Ended up pulling it off. You can learn about that in another video where I talk about my work with him. But what I want to talk about right now is living in someday and how that disempowers you. And here's the next piece, though. The next piece is when you see this, you either turn the video off and don't want to think about it, or you look straight at it and it makes you shit your pants. Because then you have to face the fact that you're actually scared of putting a date in your word. Because if I speak a day, that means I have to do it, because if I don't, I failed and I suck and I'm not lovable and my life is meaningless and I'm basically dead. Okay, I'm exaggerating it, but I'm not really, because subconsciously this is how people think about it without realizing this is the way they think about it. They just feel it and don't think about it consciously, and it feels gross, and they procrastinate and don't speak dates. And so I knew that I had to do it, but I also knew that it didn't feel good, so I looked into that. So what's that about? Well, it's just about what I said. Well, the fear of speaking a date is because I don't know it and I can't control it, and if I don't end up there, then that means that I am not my word, keeping my word, and I'm not lovable, I'm not loved, blah, 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 blah. But that's not true either. That's just an idea. It's an idea that if you say you're going to do something by a certain time and it doesn't happen, that you're bad or you're a failure. We learn that young. It's like, bad, you got to be on time. I'm angry. I'm taking my love away from you. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can actually be lovable even if you don't do what you said you were going to do. So what about this? What if, even if you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve and said you would achieve by the date, what if you were still lovable, still likable, still a good person, still going to heaven, whatever it is that you hope will happen, and you're avoiding, and so because you don't make that not happen, like you're not going to die. Why do they call them deadlines? To scare the shit out of you. But you're not going to die. It's going to be okay. And you can actually be free to speak a date as a functional act of creation, because the moment you put a date, a stick in the ground out there, and you're like, I'm going there. And now it's in. It's like, now I know where I'm going. Now I know when I'm going to. Now I've got some creative constraint. I've got something that's forcing me to think about what I could be doing to have that happen by then. And I'm not doing it out of fear of failing, because I'm not judging myself if I don't make it. But at least I have a date in the ground, in the flow of time. It's coming. It's not dangerous. It's just exciting. Here it comes. I like to think of it not as a deadline, but as a due date. Like my wife's 6 months pregnant, as a date. And like if the universe conspires and we take care of her and the baby and all these things and everything works out, it's not totally in our control, but we've got a date. We're looking forward to it. We're doing everything we can for that. We're going to bring our part to the dance, and if the universe brings its part, we get to have a baby. That's all creation, man. If you do your part, and the universe does its part, and you guys have a date that you're teaming up on, then like it's going to work out. Or it's not. But it's not your fault. You're not bad if it doesn't happen. You're actually lovable and perfect just the way you are, whether or not you meet your lines, which you can call due dates or deadlines. So if that's the case, why someday? The word someday is disempowering. It entrenches your acquiescence to the unknown. And it says that because it's unknown, I am at the mercy of circumstance. Fuck circumstance. Dance with that shit. Take your language, your speaking, and actually speak a date. Throw it out there, let it move towards you, and see what you can do while that date's coming. And then bang, maybe we got a baby, or maybe we don't. But we did our best, and we're okay. So fuck someday. Maybe that's what I'll call this video. Fuck someday. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm fired up right now. I have so many videos for you to watch. Consume them. Take one every day like a supplement. Get it into your body and into your mind. Yes, there are ideas, but also just experience my spirit of commitment to creating everything that you want in your life through creating who you are. The more you experience that commitment, the more you'll start to feel it alive in you, and you'll find your own ways to do it. If you want my support, the best place to have that is in my year-long Creators Circle. I do them a few times a year. Reach out to me, PM, DM, EMAIL me, and message me, however you want to say it, and we'll talk. We'll have a conversation so you can experience what that's like. It takes commitment, time, money, but it's the most life-changing experience you could probably ever find on this planet. Find something better, let me know, and I'll go sign up for that. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.